my God, that sucks. I love it.
Mike, what's up? Good, dude. I'm happy that you're here.
Yeah.
I'm happy that we're able to make this happen.
Yeah.
You're able to talk to the community a little bit.
Yeah.
Get your voice out there.
Yeah.
I think that's cool.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
So some backstory for everybody that's listening, right? You and I met on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's actually it's just a stroke of luck that we met.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool because I wasn't even the one that reached out to you first. I don't even know if you knew this. So
No.
you don't even think you know this story yet, but I was paying a company to do outreach on Instagram for me, right? And so they didn't even really like look at people's profiles that much. They didn't like look into it that much. They were just reaching out to people on my Instagram, right? So they had access to my Instagram. They were just reaching out to people, okay? Now, when I had reached out to you, not me, but my profile had reached out to you, you, I think, told Colin Shore, you like asked him a question. He's one of our mutual friends, and he used to work for Aptive.
Yeah.
So you were like, hey, this guy's reaching out to me from Aptive. Like, do you know anything about that? And so I think you guys had a brief conversation because you guys were friends in the Wilmington area.
Yeah.
And you asked him, like, is this something that you think I'd be able to do? Or something along those lines. You're like, could I work for them? Right? Colin reached out to me and he was just like, hey, honestly, the door knocking thing, I don't think that would be a great fit for Michael.
Yeah.
And I was like, why? And he was like, well, check out his page. He's a really inspiring guy. He's got a really cool story. I just don't think walking door to door is going to be the best job for him. And I was like, okay, I'll check it out. So I did. And I saw your story. I saw your Instagram and saw a little bit about your website. And I was like, this dude seems awesome. So that's when I took over on the messaging, and I was like, hey dude, come by the office, right? Come say hey, meet me.
That way. Hey.
While you're typing, I think that was, it was 2021, 2022, 3? I think it was end of 22.
Yeah.
End of 22.
Yeah.
While Mike is typing, I think one thing I was going to share as a disclaimer, are you ready? Okay, you're still typing?
Yeah.
Okay. As a disclaimer, the way me and Mike are going to communicate, he's got some answers to some questions that I had for him typed up, and we'll get into it about, cerebral palsy and kind of Mike's life and what he's done in the face of it. As we communicate on this podcast, he's going to have answers typed up that'll be like speech to text, or text to speech, I guess it is. And we'll riff back and forth a little bit too, because we're good friends and we get each other now, right? But it's mainly going to be that as the method of communication. And so there's a little pauses and things like that. Mike's obviously just typing out so we can hear what he's got to say.
Yeah.
We actually FaceTimed first because you were in Colorado.
There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we FaceTimed because I was curious after looking at your page.
Yeah.
After I actually looked at your page. I was like, this guy seems awesome. We FaceTimed, and then you came to the office. And we talked briefly. I know.
Yeah.
You came to the old Aptive office.
Yeah.
And it's kind of cool, just stroke of luck. You lived literally a stone's throw away.
Yeah, it was.
And that's not even an exaggeration to anybody. Usually the stone's throw thing is an exaggeration. I actually could throw a stone and hit your apartment, I think, from the old Aptive office.
It was because I saw your story on Instagram about being at work and I realized it was literally a stone throw away from my apartment.
Yeah. Yeah, we were like, just come in. Just come in and talk and hang out and we'll see. Right. So then obviously that's when I met you, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know, dude. Ever since the first time that we met, I was like,
Yeah.
this dude's a beast.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like, and then, we're going to talk about this today in much greater detail, but like, there's just something about you. There's an energy about you that, despite the condition you have, whatever, like you're such a good energy. And I could tell right from when I met you, like, this is a really like smart, witty guy, and I could see that, right from the start. So it definitely made me want to hang out with you, because, just to be frank, bro, and this is no offense, I don't think you would take any offense to this, but hanging out with you is like, you're an awesome dude. You're witty. And it also makes me realize, like, bro, I don't have jack shit to complain about, bro. I really don't. And that's not why I hang out with you, but it's just, it's true. It's like, ever since then, I'm like, hey man, I want to spend time with this guy because dude, I wake up sometimes and just being transparent. I wake up sometimes and I like feel bad for myself. I think like, oh, I've got all these problems. My work is tough. This is tough, but dude, I can get up and roll out of bed and jump. Right. And I don't have jack shit to complain about. I really don't. And most people don't anyway, right? Like most people should just be so grateful all the time. Right. And I think it's cool. I think our friendship has helped me in a lot of ways. So I appreciate it. So yeah, I mean, we started hanging out pretty regularly. Then I went and sold again this past summer. We've just, gotten lunch and gotten to know each other a lot better. And then we did the race, right? So it was about a week ago, right? Almost exactly a week ago. Yeah. Exactly a week ago. Me and Mike woke up in the wee hours of the night.
3 a.m.
3 a.m. Well, we didn't wake up then. We woke up at damn 2, right? I don't know about you, but I woke up at 2. You said you didn't sleep that much, right? Which will probably had a toll on what happened. You can't just wake up and no sleep, bang out a half marathon, dude. But anyways, we woke up at like 2, half marathon. We had to start at 3. Because there was a time cutoff where we had to be by mile marker 10 by 9 a.m., right? Yeah. So we started the race at 3 in the wee hours of the morning together. Me and Mike just trucking along down North Lumina at Wrightsville Beach. And unfortunately, because of the time, right? That was really the biggest thing. It was the time. The time restraint. Also, being damn 3 o'clock in the morning on no sleep, right? And also it's cold. It started off 50 degrees and then it was 40 in like the next hour. So that was tough. And then your thighs started cramping, huh? It was good. It was just tough, right? And you said normally that happens, but like way later in the race. You only got like a couple miles left and you can kind of just bang it out. But it was happening at like mile 2 and 3, right? Where it was like, you were like, I probably can't do this. Conditions were not the best there. Right. There was a lot playing against us. But told you this when we were sitting down though. I was like, bro, you walking 5 miles is like me running a marathon and my ass isn't doing that right now. So that was still an accomplishment. Still something really impressive. But I know you're a perfectionist and you wanted to get it done. Right. So anyways, we did that and we've wanted to sit down and try this for a while. So I'm glad we're doing it. Side note too, I'm excited that you're going to be working with us this summer too. Mike's going to be, a stats guy for us, drawing things from the internet and getting us, screenshots of stats every day and really helping our group. So everything happens for a reason. I believe that, right? There's a reason you were 300 yards away from my office and we were able to meet and this all happened. So I believe that. So anyways, wanted to introduce kind of how we met, little bit more about just us and our initial relationship and how we got started. But I already kind of talked about what we'll be doing in terms of communication. So I guess I wanted to start with just kind of what, if people don't know what CP is, do you mind kind of sharing that a little bit with your... I didn't know exactly what it was either.
Cerebral palsy is a neurological condition that affects the tenseness of the muscles. As a result, I am assuming my vocal cords are tighter than normal.
Tighter than normal, along with all the other muscles. Yeah. Okay. I'm curious about this. We're going to talk about a lot, but was speaking and speech easier or harder when you were younger? That might be a complicated question. Okay.
That's a loaded question, but let's just say for the purposes of this conversation I didn't have the tools that I have now. Also, back to the perfectionism that you referenced earlier, some of the focus on my speech impediment played a role in my perfectionism today, if that makes sense.
It does. Yeah. It does. So yeah, not the same resources as you have now. A little bit different back then. And we'll get into that, right? So, okay. So, CP is really just all the muscles are tighter than normal.
Yeah.
It's pretty much what it is.
Yeah.
Can cause some just different ways bones are formed and stuff too, because muscles are too tight.
Yeah.
And I know we'll talk a little bit about when you had a surgery for that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, tell me, one thing that I know a little bit about this stuff, but I'm excited to learn more through this conversation too. Tell me a little bit more about where you're from and where you were born.
Okay.
Technically I am from Wilmington, but my formative childhood years were spent in Jacksonville, so I say I am from Jacksonville.
Makes sense. Okay. Good old Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Not too far. It's about an hour north, right?
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, I've spent a little bit of time in Jacksonville. So yeah, get into that. Why is that?
Okay.
Why did you move from Wilmington and find Jacksonville as your home where you were raised?
So, I was adopted at age 11 and my adopted family lived in Jacksonville.
Okay. So from Wilmington, technically born, adopted at age 11, they lived in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
That's pretty much where you were raised.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah. Tell me, and I know there's a lot to go into here.
Yeah.
Tell me about the pre-adoption days. What was that like? What do you remember from that? And explain to us a little bit about that situation.
Yes, a lot of parental neglect, sleeping in motels, family members' garages, and even in the back seat of my parents' car on multiple occasions. This cycle continued until Child Welfare Services became involved and removed me from my parents' custody.
So yeah, a lot of parental neglect. That's dude, that's tough for anybody, bro.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And we've talked about it a little bit before, but like, was that just them? Was that just them not being ready in life? Were they just not ready in life to have a kid at all?
Yeah.
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 And if do you know them? Do you know who they are?
Yeah.
So you know the biological parents?
Yeah.
Yeah. Any contact with them in the past, like 10 years or?
Not now.
No, not now.
No.
Okay. But you knew who they were once you were adopted?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. But didn't like really spend any time with them ever since then?
No.
Yeah. Yeah. What a shitty thing to do. Just to do that to a kid.
Yeah.
It's not how it should be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Sleeping in cars.
Yeah.
I've only done that once. That was my fault. That's wild.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah. So you, from that moment though, from being adopted, so childhood of neglect, kind of, yeah, really just a neglect to care for a kid, no matter what their state is, right? Like, that's terrible. And then you go from there to, what was that like? Did you get taken away from them?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was in 2 different foster homes between the time Child Welfare Services removed me from my parents to when I was placed with my adopted family. Just a little shameless plug, I am going to be releasing the chapter where I detail this period of my life in the coming weeks.
Nice. Nice. So we'll get more detail about that on your Instagram.
Yeah.
On your website or just your Instagram? Or both?
Both.
Both. Cool.
Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah. Okay. So in a couple of different foster homes after you were taken from, by Child Protection Services.
Yeah.
Okay. And, I guess one thing I was always been curious about is like, how did CP affect you as a younger man? Like, how did that affect your time in the foster homes and just in general throughout like that period of your life?
I was unable to walk or pretty much do anything on my own. I was confined to an electric wheelchair. I also had a G-tube, which was a feeding tube in my stomach. It would then be hooked up to a machine that would regulate the flow of the liquid that I was fed throughout the night. This often led to me feeling frustrated that I couldn't do what the able-bodied kids were doing. As a result, growing up I struggled with anger issues.
I can understand that. Like seeing everybody running around doing whatever the hell they wanted to do.
Yeah.
You're like, what the hell? I can't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know we'll talk about it, talk about the surgery. So that was that a result in part? Was like the severity of your condition, like being in the wheelchair and having the tube, was that a result of the neglect? Was that partially a result of not being tended to and cared to as a kid? Maybe. Yeah, it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a sidebar, the biggest misconception that people have is that people with disabilities are somehow fine with their situation. I can't speak for everyone, but that isn't me.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see where the anger comes from.
Yeah.
It's like, this is stupid. Like,
Yeah.
it's not like you chose it.
No.
It's not like you deserve it.
No.
Especially with you, bro, because like you think about it, like your muscles might be different genetically and tighter.
Yeah.
But you're smart, dude.
Yeah.
You're a smart guy.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of different conditions out there, and I think there's different severities. There's Also different realities as to what those people who are experiencing those conditions live in, right? Because
Yeah.
your condition is physical. It has nothing to do with your brain, right?
Yeah.
You got a big functioning brain up there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I get it, dude.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
It kind of goes back to what I said in the beginning, dude.
Yeah.
Like one of the things I think that's so cool about you is while you're not like, I know you're not cool with it. And like, I know that could be very, I know that could fill you with anger, but like the way you handle it is impressive to me. Because to me, if I wake up and I'm tired, I want to punch a puppy in the face. But like, I realistically, I have nothing to complain about. Right. And everyone's reality is different. I know like what you know is what you know.
Yeah.
And that's like going to determine your lens of what's good and bad, which you've previously experienced. But I think you handle it really well.
Thanks.
So probably better than I would. So
Thanks.
yeah. Your adopted family, what were they like? Because I know it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows from there. As if you didn't have enough from the biological ones, right?
Yeah.
Without diving too deep into the nitty-gritty, it was very sheltered, very conservative, and very controlling. I would even say borderline abusive at times. We were homeschooled, which did not help the situation. Although these years are not the fondest years, it was during this time that I had 2 major surgeries which changed the trajectory of my life. So while I don't think anyone should endure what happened during these years, in life we all go through shitty things to build character. As the well-known quote goes, what does not break you only makes you stronger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So bittersweet, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Bittersweet because it was better in a ton of ways.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like your situation materially was better.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that like mentally things were better. That doesn't mean that they handled things well on like maybe an emotional level or like a mental level with you.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So you got there and they were taking care of you, which is different.
Yeah.
Right. So that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. You wouldn't be here as we know you, you wouldn't be here today without them.
No.
Right.
No.
So there is that.
Yeah.
There is that.
Yeah.
Do you think that comes in part with having it be it's slightly harder and maybe slower at times to express yourself? Do you think it's partly due to that? Like the riff and how your relationship with them, or would you say it was mainly just kind of like how they ran the household wasn't like very in line with what melded with you and worked with you, or what you believed in, or mainly that second one? Yeah. You have siblings? You do have siblings.
Yeah. Yeah.
How many people were in that household? Was there a mom, a dad,
Yeah.
and then you, and then I know you have sisters. I forget.
Oh.
Yeah.
I believe there were 12 of us all together. I'd rather not dive too deep into it in the podcast because it goes on the internet, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. 12.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
It's around a lot of people.
Yeah.
I hear you. Okay. Well, you got the surgeries,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And that is one of the blessings.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me more about the surgeries and what you kind of had to get done and what that did for you.
The first one was to close my feeding tube. It involved an incision length of my torso. The reason being is that since I had it for 11 or 12 years, a tunnel of sorts formed around the opening, preventing the skin from closing on its own. Definitely not a fun experience, but a necessity.
So how long? It was in there for how many years? You said 10 or 11?
Yeah.
So a tube inside you for 10 or 11 years. And your body grows around that.
Yeah.
Not the same tube, but you get the point.
Okay. Yeah. Tubes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So big ass cut on your torso. Okay. That's to basically make it whole so that you don't need the tube anymore and your torso will function correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that doesn't sound super fun.
No.
A little painful.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Probably an understatement.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're like, what the hell are you talking about? A little bit.
Yeah.
You're like, you do it, idiot. Yeah, that would hurt. That would hurt.
Yeah.
Geez. Okay. Definitely necessary though.
Yeah.
So you were going from needing that to not needing it, but is that because of the correct amount of attention and you being able to, like, is that also just you being older and being able to eat on your own? Like, how does, I'm sorry, I know that's a involved question.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just a little bit curious.
Yeah.
Maybe you can tell me just like in a short answer, like, was that because of your age or was it because of the proper care? Or neither?
The parental figure did not want to deal with it, and I'll leave it as that.
True.
Oh.
True. Yeah. No, fair enough. So you had the tube closed.
Yeah.
Tube hole closed.
Yeah.
Sorry, I gotta make light of things. You know
Yeah.
that. So, I'm just a goofball. And then what's next?
The more intense surgery was straightening out my ankles, which were turned inward. Throughout my life, up to this point, I was wearing orthopedic support braces that were supposed to be a corrective measure but were not successful. As a result of this surgery, I was in a sitting position with casts coming up to my thighs for 6 weeks. At the end of this period, all my legs' muscles had atrophied, so the following couple of years were like hell in terms of rehabilitation. It was an experience that I would not want to repeat. I wanted to give up many times. However, sometimes in life, the more challenging times produce the most rewarding results and experiences. In life, we are often unable to comprehend the entire scale of what a trial can enable in the moment. So if you are listening to this and going through something, keep on going, because you never know what experiences are waiting for you years later. I can say with certainty that if I had not had this surgery and gone through the rehabilitation process, I wouldn't be able to do the things that I love today.
Amen. True. You wouldn't be walking 5Ks.
No.
Not at all.
No.
Yeah, that rehab was probably terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, starting from nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like probably like very little muscular tissue. Like
Yeah.
basically nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing going on.
Mum.
And you got to work from that up to
Yeah.
standing.
Yeah.
And then walking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now to walking like not slowly.
Yeah.
You're not slow when you walk either. I was surprised. I was like, we're moving. We're actually moving. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
I've never had to do any serious rehab of my own.
Uh,
I know people have, with their ACL tears and things like that and broken bones, and they're trying to get back into sports, and I know that rehab is tough, but to like almost have all of the muscles in your both of your legs
yeah,
atrophied and have to go from that to walking, I mean, that's like
yeah,
a whole ass transformation.
yeah,
Yeah,
uh,
that's crazy. How long did that take? Years?
yeah,
But you had the cast on for months.
yeah,
The cast up to your thighs.
yeah,
You said 5 or 6 months? Weeks.
yeah,
Weeks.
yeah.
But then you go from that.
Yeah, but I have. Oh.
I had the longer casts up to my thighs for 6 weeks and then casts up to my calves for 6 weeks.
True. Okay. Yeah. Hell of a process, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you were... How old were you, though?
12.
You were 12.
Yeah.
Okay. So then that situation, good in some ways, not the best in some ways. When were you living on your own completely?
So fast forward to 23 years old, and due to the whole situation as mentioned previously, I was moved down to Wilmington to basically where I am today. Though I was homeschooled, I didn't graduate. However, during the first few years of being on my own, I got my GED from the local community college. I then went on to go to that college for 2 years before I transferred to UNCW, where I received my bachelor's in communication at the end of last year.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Got that piece of paper, baby.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of people are chasing.
Yeah.
And you did it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Ooh.
That's beastly right there. That's good stuff. So yeah. How was, I mean, going to school, I mean, yeah, it's all online, right? Did you go all online? Did you go in person too?
No.
You went in person too?
Yeah.
We could talk about this forever, but when I went to the community college, I rode the bus for about 2+ hours each way. Transferring to UNCW was definitely a blessing because I could wake up an hour before class and still be there on time.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. That's awesome. So you got your degree. Yeah, it's kind of in the process of being out on your own too. Those were one and the same. You were on your own and getting your degree.
Yeah.
What were your biggest challenges, would you say, about figuring out how to live on your own and facing that?
First, I would say learning how to deal effectively with people. You would be surprised at some of the things that people have implied about me, right out said to my face, or just did. Over the years, I've learned that getting all worked up about something and trying to make people see it from my perspective is often not the best approach. Sometimes, you just need to meet someone where they are. It's almost like knocking doors for active. You, as salespeople, have to adjust the pitch on the fly based upon what you observe while talking to the person at the front door in order to reach your end goal.
Valid, for sure. I can see that. Dealing with people, everybody's got to deal with people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Having to do it, with a condition that might make it harder to communicate with them, that's no different. You still have to deal with people.
Yeah.
You got to figure out the best way for you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
To reach the end goal you want.
Yeah.
Yeah. True. I like that comparison. I always like a nice comparison to Apted.
Yeah.
You know that.
Yeah.
The Doors.
Yeah.
Doors is life, baby.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Not really. Doors are a good representation of
Yeah.
things that you face in life. I
Yeah,
do
yeah.
believe that.
Yeah.
But yeah, what else about the challenges that you've faced?
I would say the biggest challenge that I have grappled with and to a certain degree still grapple is accepting the fact that it's not as easy to do everything that I want to do. Like for example, I can't just get up and go to the beach, go out, or just travel by myself. Mostly because of safety reasons and partly because of the awful transportation situation. As a person with a disability, I'm aware that I am more vulnerable to whatever. It doesn't mean that I can't do anything. It just means I need to have mechanisms in place. For example, going out with friends. As a result, a lot of times, I feel trapped in my mile or so radius. This radius is great for going to the store by myself or something like that. However, at the end of the day, going to the grocery is a necessity and not some grand old thing. It's frustrating to say the least. I see friends doing things that I know that I could have been a part of in some capacity but wasn't for whatever reason. My natural instinct is to go nuclear on them. However, at the end of the day, as I said previously, I need these same people to do things so that I am not trapped in my mile or so radius and in my apartment.
True.
Yeah.
True. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's cool to go to the grocery store, but you're like, I need to eat anyway. It's not like I'm gonna throw a party to go to the grocery store.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Yeah, I can see how that feeling of, I can see how you'd feel like that.
Yeah.
Without the proper, like you said, without the proper systems in place. If there was an easy bus that worked really well,
Yeah.
that just ran from your place to the beach or near your place to the beach or this and that, like
Yeah.
if there was a train that was a little bit better,
Yeah.
be a little easier to hop around a little bit.
Yeah.
We've talked about that, the public transportation in Wilmington.
Yeah.
It's garbage.
It's awful.
Yeah. Basically non-existent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Might as well not exist.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's definitely something that most people take for granted. Something I take for granted.
Yeah.
If I want to go somewhere, I just freaking go hop in my car.
Yeah.
Right? It's easy.
Yeah.
And there's not a great system in place to overcome that for you or for other people.
No.
They can't do that.
My
Uber?
place is too expensive to pay like
All the time.
yeah.
Yeah, maybe once in a while, but
Yeah.
you can't use it every day.
No.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not with like the allowance that you have, right?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Not even close.
No.
Yeah. Way too expensive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Were you gonna type? Are you gonna say something?
No.
Okay. I know it's kind of like a bigger question, and we talked about this a little bit, but like everybody's got to have like a why. Why do you wake up and do it and do what you do, and why do you keep up striving and keep moving forward? What's your why in life? What would you say to that?
On the day I was moved down to Wilmington, I was handed a piece of paper that basically said that I had made my bed and now I have to live with it. Almost a decade later, I can say with confidence that I am not in the same bed, metaphorically speaking, as I was that day when I was handed that piece of paper. In essence, my whole existence has been defying the odds, so this is right on brand for me.
Uh,
From that moment on, it was just defying that almost like banishing statement, like this is you, this is gonna be you.
yeah.
It's a good word, defy.
Yeah.
Defying CP, right? Defy.
Yeah.
That's why you chose that word.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's accurate.
Yeah.
It's a big middle finger to it.
Yeah. Like, fuck.
I love that.
Fuck you.
Nice. That's the attitude towards it, right? I like that. I like that. Yeah, I mean, I kind of on that note, like, everyone's got their own challenges. Why wake up and get after it? You know, besides defying, like, why wake up and get after it?
Honestly, what pushes me through every day is hope. Hope that someday it will click for certain people. Also, it's the little things, like hanging out with people like yourself, because it gives me a glimpse of what life can be like. Also, as far-fetched as it may be at times, the hope of being able to travel, experience life, new things and cultures.
Yeah. Travel is interesting to you.
Yeah.
That's like a big one for you, I know.
Yeah.
It's almost like cosplaying what other people's lives are like. I know that it's not a total adequate representation, but as someone who spends 95% of my time in my one-bedroom apartment, it's the closest thing I've gotten to living a normal life.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
True. Yeah, you mentioned a little bit more. You mentioned the travel.
Yeah.
It's something we've talked about a little bit. We've talked about this before, just sitting around at lunch and stuff. You showed me pictures, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Where have you traveled again?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think we talked about maybe where you want to go to, but where have you gone?
Yet I know have traveled. I have been to Salt Lake, Utah, Canada, and Arizona. Just to reiterate my point of needing people to do things with. Although I traveled to these locations alone, the only way I was able to really experience things like the Grand Canyon, or the beautiful mountains of Canada, was because I stayed with friends who did things with me and took me to these locations.
Yeah.
Yeah, some real friends.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You showed me where you went in Canada. That was awesome.
Yeah. That was magical.
Magical.
Yeah.
That was the picture you showed me. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Didn't even look real.
Yeah.
I forget exactly which part of Canada it was, but
Beth.
Beth
M-
or Bath or neither. That's on me.
Banff.
Yeah.
It's like BANF.
Yeah.
Banff.
Yeah.
Two F's. Banff.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever it was, that place is gorgeous.
Yeah.
I want to go.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll go someday and we can go together.
Yeah.
You can visit again.
Yeah.
That'd be cool, huh?
Yeah. 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 Heaven on earth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's heaven on earth, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you traveled a little bit. Goal is to travel more in the future.
Yeah.
Been on your own for a while now.
Yeah.
Got that degree
Yeah.
through all the challenges,
Yeah.
defying everything.
Yeah.
When did you start doing races?
So, the first 5K I did was for this local nonprofit that I was a part of at the time. When I crossed the finish line, my friend jokingly said, "Want to run it again?" which would have made it a 10K. So, fast forward a few months and I was with the same friend running a 10K on Bald Head Island. Similar to the half marathon that we just attempted last weekend, I didn't finish that race either. However, I was back out there a year later and I crossed that finish line. What I love most about these races is that though I might start earlier, I still have to cross the same finish as everyone else in order to get that medal. Also, the main reason I continued racing is because of the people who run the timing for these races.
Develop a relationship with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a community kind of, right?
Yeah.
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 I mean, it is a community.
Yeah.
Crossed that finish line, got that first medal.
Yeah.
First of many.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we can pull up the website.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is the website. Now I've looked at this. I want to share this with everybody too, though. So this is you. Look at you, strapping, handsome fella.
That one. Oh.
The previous one.
That big. Bob Heb.
That's from Bald Head.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. There's Banff.
Yeah.
There you
Oh my god.
Nice.
That one.
Nice.
Oh my god.
I want to look at a couple things. I want to look at the running resume. Yeah, so let's go through this. This is what I want everyone to see. I want to look at these. Let's go by year. Let's go back. Let's go. Can you zoom out a little bit? Okay. So 2018, this is when you started.
Yeah.
So that February race,
Yeah.
you did the 5K.
Yeah.
So that was the first race.
Yeah.
That was your first medal?
Not a nipple.
No medal.
No.
That was just a race.
Yeah.
And then about the same in August,
Yeah.
you finished 5 miles. That was
Yeah.
similar to what we did.
Yeah.
And then you did a couple more 5Ks.
Yeah.
No medals for those yet. Or you got a medal for the October or the December? Both?
Both.
Okay,
Yeah.
you got medals for those.
Yeah.
Nice. So those are your first medals.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice. Then we go up to 2019. Another 5K.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you did the marathon where you're on the bike.
Yeah.
Okay, the lay down bike.
Yeah. That is fun.
Yeah. You showed me a video of that. We'll watch that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's super cool. And then CFC, see that's 4 miles. Another 5K, another 5K, another 5K. And then we have the year later,
Yeah.
the Bald Head.
Yeah.
Did it 10K, you did it a little under 3 hours.
Yeah.
Let's go.
That way. Hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're moving.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome, dude. That's really cool. That was your first 5K, your first real, or your first 10K. That was like your first, like,
Yeah.
that was your first, like, a real, like, race that probably really pushed you pretty hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then you got more 5Ks, or 4-miler. Then you got another 10K in November,
Yeah.
and you finished it in much shorter time.
Yeah.
Shaved off 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Wow. Then you got a couple more
Yeah.
shorter ones.
Yeah.
Okay, then we got 2020. We got 5.5 miler, a 5K. Then we got another 10K. You broke your record again.
Yeah.
We got a right over 2 hours for the 10K.
Yeah.
That's in Wrightsville Beach.
Yeah.
Then we got a 5K. Okay, then we have attempted our first half marathon.
Yeah.
Okay. Virtually due to COVID.
Yeah.
You did 11 miles and 4:43 of moving time.
Yeah.
Okay. And not including the times you had to stop.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, look at that. So 11 miles, that's by far the longest you had ever gone in one time, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. That was probably new frontiers for you.
Yeah.
How'd those legs feel? Were they cramping?
Yeah. Oh.
I'm sure. And then maybe is that a 5-mile clean and lean summer challenge? 100 miles completed 60.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that on the bike? Oh, no, that was from a certain amount of time. So that was 60 miles over 2 months.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of miles. And then we did 6.2 miles of the 20K.
Yeah.
Another 5K, another 5K. So then you finished 10 miles out of the half marathon
Yeah. Yeah.
in approximately 5.5.
Yeah.
And then the back started spasming up.
Yeah. Oh.
And I'm sure that hurt.
That was hot.
Hot.
That day.
Yeah.
Everyone had to decrease out that day.
70?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. 10 miles is crazy. Sure, your legs were feeling crazy and your back.
Yeah.
Okay, then we got another 5K.
Yeah.
That's it for 2020.
Yeah.
And then we got the official
Yeah.
half marathon.
Yeah.
That's your first half.
Yeah. Oh.
There you go. So that's January of 21. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Got your half marathon. Then you do a 5K in March. And then April, you rip another one. Another half marathon, which is one we just did, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you finish that and under, so you shaved 17 minutes off. 16, 17 minutes.
Yeah.
Look at that. And you got a 5K. Another 5K. Another 5K. Then you did 8.2 in 4.5 hours. 5K. Then you do the bike and the run. Okay, then the pedal kayak. Did you end up doing the pedal kayak or you didn't for that one?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. So that was it for 2021. 2 halves in 2021 though. That's crazy. Okay, then you got a shorter one. Then you do the Riceville Beach half marathon again and shave 40 minutes off. More than that, 50.
What?
Yeah, you shave 50 minutes off your time.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Nice. That's wild. 5K, 5K, 5K. The big run. Then we got road race. And then you did the 10K there.
Yeah,
The battleship.
yeah,
In 3 hours. Nice.
yeah.
That's 22. And then we got a 5K, the big run, the 5K. And then did the 10K portion of that half marathon again.
Yeah,
And 3:15.
yeah.
And then you did the... Is that a 10K, the Southern Tour Ultra? 5?
5 miles.
Oh, 5 miles. Okay.
Yeah,
That's similar.
yeah,
And then you got the
yeah,
half marathon we did.
yeah.
So let's see. Your personal best for a 5K is 56 minutes.
Yeah,
Wow, bro, that is crazy.
yeah,
Personal best for a 10K is 2 hours.
yeah.
Personal best for the half is 6 hours and a half. 6:36. Okay. Nice. For a trail half is 7.5.
Yeah,
Okay, so that's one of the reasons why that happened, probably, right?
yeah,
Your time decreased a little bit because you're on the road instead of a trail.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah. Let's see some of the videos. The video diary right there. I want to see. Let's watch the badass guy with CP completes the half marathon. You can fast forward a little bit.
yeah,
So this is near the beginning.
yeah.
You got a chest cam on?
Yeah,
You got a chest cam?
good one.
A clip on?
And,
GoPro.
yeah,
GoPro, I got you. Nice.
yeah,
So yeah, we can keep going forward.
yeah, yeah,
This is 2021, right?
yeah.
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 When do you start? There we go.
Okay.
This is the race right here?
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Let's fast forward to seeing you finish.
All the way. Yeah, all the way.
Even more?
No.
Great there.
Yeah, I'm there.
To our marathon committee and staff, bringing in Micah Friant,
Nice.
cerebral palsy finisher.
Nice. Had to be a good feeling.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Good job, my friend. Proud of you, man.
Let's go.
How often is this?
That's so cool.
Got tears in my eyes, my brother. You think you can do it?
He bites it. First thing.
We all believe in you. Good job.
That's exactly what I would do.
Signing off the 2021.
Nice, man. That's so sick. That's so sick. That's so sick. So you got a lot of videos like that on here. I mean, the cool thing is, and I encourage anybody, bro, go look at these, dude. Go look through these, and you know, I want to continue to get the word out. I want to continue to. I think people watching these is so inspirational. I think it's something that is one of my goals. Not that there has to be a goal for us to talk, but one of my goals for sure, you know, through us continuing to hang out is like, I functionally want more people to hear about your story. I want more people to look at the website, watch the videos, learn from it. And there's a lot to learn from it. Defying CP, right? Is that the technical name? Defying CP by kicking its ass? Is that the technical? Despite of CP.org. Okay. That's just your motto, defying CP by kicking its ass.
Actually, the timing guy first started to use that phrase.
Nice. Took and ran with it, literally. Did a bunch of races with it. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, what's the goal of the website? I want to hear about that. I know we talked about that a little bit.
My goal for the website and videos are just to educate people about life with CP. I have found that people have one experience with a person with CP and they automatically equate and generalize that one experience to everyone they know with CP. It's definitely frustrating because deprogramming has to happen and that takes time, as I have mentioned before.
True. Trying to show people that it's not like everybody with CP is the same.
No.
And everyone's got their own challenges and story and personality and right? So it's a lot about awareness, would you say? Awareness is a big one.
And
willingness to challenge their own perceptions.
Yeah. Spread awareness, challenge people on their perceptions, educate, right? Educate. I think education is big because, you know, I'm grateful to meet you and now I kind of know a lot more about CP and how it affects people and how it affects your body, but not really your mind at all, right? Like, so, and you know, if I knew that, then I'm more likely to kind of go out of my way to find really cool people that have this and help them live more of a normal experience through transportation, through anything that could help, right? That's awesome. That's cool. On the races, I'm curious because we had an experience where, you know, your thighs started hurting. Tell me a little bit about what it's like to race for you. Is it painful? Do you have to focus on your breathing? Do you have to like tune things out? Like you gotta like kind of be like meditative like that. What is it like to focus and get through them?
Unless it is a half marathon or some longer distance other than a 5K, I view them as a walk in the park, so to speak. As with everything else in my life, the actual running takes longer than other people. As a result, I don't get to talk to fellow runners as much, which is definitely frustrating at times. Since I put so much effort and energy into running, I can't casually talk to the person running with me. Similarly to the half marathon we attempted last weekend. While running races is still very much a community activity, I feel like I just am there to run the course and go home. As a result, I have done fewer races and probably will continue doing fewer races than previously. Just not interested in paying $50 to run a course and say hey to a few people. I will still participate in the main ones, but the other smaller ones are not on my radar, so to speak.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
Part of what you're paying for is the community. And if you can't really talk to people the whole time, except for one or two people,
yeah,
you just do that on your own.
yeah,
Yeah. That makes sense.
uh,
That makes sense. Well, dude, it's definitely inspiring to see. I mean, you know, the cool thing is you've already got a body of work, right?
yeah,
You've got a body of work. You've got videos. You've got the medals.
yeah,
You've got the website. So you don't need to do 100 more races to defy your situation.
Yeah.
You've done that in a lot of ways. And now I think, in my eyes at least, a lot of the work can be more around spreading what you already have and developing more awareness around that. And that kind of goes to like, what are the goals of the website and your general goals like over the next few years?
Mostly just to continue to educate people about CP and my experience. It has both of my running and regular resumes, some quotes from me, some projects from my time at UNCW, people whom I would like to meet someday, and links to all my socials. It's kinda a central hub for all things Michael, so to speak.
Nice. True.
yeah.
True. Yeah, first of all, again, I want to say thank you again for coming and doing this, bro.
Yeah.
I know it's been fun for me.
Yeah.
We're,
What happened to me?
yeah, dude. Yeah. It's about time. I know it was due. I've been looking forward to doing this. I know we're not done working together also. This is kind of just the start, right?
Yeah.
I see it as just the start.
Yeah.
You know, the start of you inspiring me, showing me a lot of new things I didn't know, me maybe helping try to spread the awareness with you and spread the website, spread what you've been up to. I think we could do a lot of good. I think we can help a lot of people. So I'm excited about that. We're also going to be working with my group this year. I'm really excited for that too. Going to be an employee of Active Omega as well. That's kind of dope. But yeah, dude, thanks for everything that you've shown me, man. It's been cool to know you already up to this point. And I know we're going to do a lot of cool things together. We're going to travel together and stuff. So, yeah, let's keep getting after it. And I'm excited to keep expanding my relationship with you, bro. I think we're gonna do some cool stuff. All right, bro. Thanks.